7:42 on this Wednesday morning. Very serious topic of conversation. We've been talking about it all morning long in news. Fentanyl. It's a word that, well, we really didn't know all that much about. A drug that we're learning about. And Jane Buxton from the BC Centre of Disease Control explains fentanyl.
Fentanyl is an opioid and it is used medically to relieve pain. Unfortunately, there is a lot of illicitly produced fentanyl in the community, often being sold as fake oxy, so green tablets or as powder. And people are taking it being unaware that it is fentanyl. Fentanyl is 50 to 100 times more toxic than morphine, so it can be very, very dangerous.
As we're back here in studio, you know, we talk about the dangers of fentanyl. Mark Bodie joining us right now. We admire the courage to come and speak on camera because fentanyl has had a direct impact on your family. Tell us about what has happened with your son, Jack.
Well, he has been in the news lately, and I want to thank you both for having me here as a representative of our family to talk about fentanyl. And the story is about a young man who died of fentanyl, our son. Jack was 17 years old, terrific guy, wonderful son, loving son. This wasn't a house full of confrontation and battle. He was a guy, a bit of a man-child, 17 years old, hugely strong, no body fat, loved to lift weights, played hockey, played hard, great friends, and so he was a great guy. And that doesn't mean to say that there wasn't any challenges in our family. Anybody that has a teenager knows that there's challenges as you go through teenage years and as you reach puberty and you're met with all of these different things in life. But he was doing it. He had recently got a job with a car company called Company of Cars, high-end, pre-owned luxury vehicles. It was his dream job. He had fallen in love in cars. Recently he had, with his own money and a little help from mom and dad, bought a BMW 325i that he absolutely adored. And so he could see his future. He talked about, you know, guys like Brian Jessel and others who had started out as lot boys and become successful car dealers. And one of the salespersons at Company of Cars, a 22-year-old guy, had started out as a lot boy. It gave Jack great hope for the future, and so he saw his future unfolding in front of him and saw that his dream could come true.
The fact that he had everything to live for makes it even more tragic. What happened in a park in your neighborhood on a Saturday night? Tell us what happened.
So Jack and his friend went out. I drove them to SkyTrain, and Jack asked for $10 for some food. I gave him 20 and told him to bring back the change, which of course he never did. And so they were gonna go down to the fireworks, and I asked them. He was with his friend to be back by 11. I told them I'd start texting them at 10:30, find out where they were. I'd come and pick them up. He'd left the car. They didn't go to the fireworks. They ended up in a park in Vancouver. They purchased some what's called fake 80s. Fake Oxycontin, dressed up word for fentanyl. So he took the fentanyl, and
that comes in a tablet, yes?
It comes in a tablet, that's right. It's a green tablet apparently with CDN on one side and 80 on the other. It's called a fake 80. We're expected to think that it's a fake Oxycontin.
Gives you some sort of a high, some euphoric feeling.
Apparently it's an unbelievably euphoric feeling, and this is what the catch is. There's a couple with fentanyl, but what happens is an incredible euphoria, and my son talked to me about this because this wasn't the first time. He had succumbed to the effects of Oxycontin 4 times before this.
Well, you know, you're here for good reason, because there is the message of awareness and how we create change and help parents manage this type of situation. So we're going to ask you to sit tight. We're going to take a quick break and talk about how we can create change and how this kind of story can help prevent these types of things from happening in the future. More to come with Mark Bodie on the BT Couch. Stay tuned here on City.